What's going on, Sauce Gang? Your boy Sauce back again with another video. What's going on, guys? Got a weekend drop for you boys and girls, man. Let's get right into it. First off, man, I hope everybody had a great week, and I hope you have an even beautiful weekend. All right, man. But let's hop into it, man. Got a few topics I want to jump into today. This video, man, is strictly for my gamers. If you're into gaming and if you're keeping up in gaming news, next week is a very special week in gaming. One of the biggest events in gaming this year, all right, E3 2021, guys, all right, man. It's been a long time coming, especially after the pandemic that happened last year. E3 has been pushed back twice, right? Twice. So this is the first time in 3 years we're about to get E3. So this is about to be a very special event, man. So I got a few things I want to talk about. Certain games I'm expecting to see, sequels, new games, indie games, you fucking name it, bro. I'm all for it. I'm excited about next week, man, because as you guys know, I'm just a big gamer, man. I'm a nerd when it comes to gaming. I've been gaming since I was a kid, and I'll be gaming probably till I die, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just a fucking gaming nerd. But anyway, let's get into some big news in gaming, all right? Now, if you guys are familiar with the God of War series, all right, the very popular character Kratos, one of my favorite video games growing up playing. But if you're familiar with the reboot God of War that came out in 2018, the sequel to that, called Ragnarok, well, speculating here, it might be called Ragnarok or it might not be, but for now they just gave it Ragnarok for the sequel. But the God of War sequel has unfortunately been pushed back till 2022, guys. Bummer, sad news, because I was really looking forward to the God of War sequel, playing the first game. Of course, Santa Monica Studios always dropping bangers, man. Since even the original God of War series, I've grown to enjoy, and I was really looking forward to it, especially since we have next gen consoles out right now. We have the Xbox and we have the PS5, and we've been waiting to see what these consoles can do. We've been waiting to see if these studios can push these consoles to the limit, right? Especially with new dynamics, new graphics, 8K picture now quality. So I mean, I was really looking forward to this, but unfortunately it's been pushed back. But hey, on the bright side, right? I mean, as gamers, we appreciate a lot of these developers and what they're able to do. And of course, there was a pandemic, so obviously they wanted to push things back. It's all about health. It's all about safety first. And obviously, we want them to give us the best experience possible. We don't want them to rush the game at all. We want a complete experience, right? Especially for me, you know, in my opinion, I'd rather have them push a game back than just, you know, have it rush out on demand. You know, sometimes as the consumers, we don't think about how much goes into making these games, especially quality games, you know, time, blood, sweat, tears that these developers put into the games, you know what I mean? So obviously they want to make it special, and I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. You know, of course, it's unfortunate. We've all been looking for it, but I think that with this pushback is gonna give it a very I want to say a more edge now. You know what I mean? Much more hype is gonna be thrown into it now. But also, I'm hearing that the reason for the pushback is because they also want to build the platform for the PS4 for those who don't currently have the next gen consoles, the Xbox or the PS5. And also, we're going to get into news regarding the PS5 after this topic. But yeah, man, so I'm guessing they're going to build this game from the ground up from the PS5's perspective, and then kind of trace it down to the PS4. But with that being said, right, let's think about this, right? If we have current next gen, if games are being made for the last gen consoles, PS4, one might have to wonder, does that hurt the game a little, in a sense, as to where we have these next gen consoles, right? And we know that these developers can push the limit, and we want to see what they can do. But that kind of doesn't work out if you have to build the game for the current consoles that we call, PS4 and Xbox One. You can't do certain things that you would on a PS5 that you could on a you can't do certain things on PS4 that you could on PS5 just because the mass things, that the technology needs, and so we'll see, bro. We'll see, but I still think Santa Monica Studios can pull out a great game, even if it's not primarily built for the PS5. But getting on to the PS5, right? As you all know, I don't know if you know or not, but the PS5 shortage will continue into 2022. That's another bad thing, I think, because you hyped up the systems, right? We have so much hype around these current gen consoles, and we know there was a pandemic. Of course, we get it, right? But knowing that there was a pandemic, if you knew, right, if you withheld information to the consumers and you hyped up this current next generation saying, oh yeah, we're gonna have the shelves filled with these new consoles, and then come days of the drop, you don't have enough, and now we're seeing that lots of people still don't have the current gens in their home. And hey man, I gotta say, for anybody that's reselling, man, and all this crap, yo man, y'all lame as hell, bro. I just have to say it. It's lame to me. Selling a PS5 for $1,000 and shit. Like, I'm not with that, bro. If you wanna spend your $1,000 on a PS5, go ahead. That's not me. I'm not into that bullshit. Like, up in the price now, I'm like, fuck no, bro. Like, that's just not me. You know what I mean? Y'all can do that. It's just, it's unfortunate that people do that shit. They go out and buy up all these systems, knowing most people can't afford it, but they up the price anyway for their own benefit. And it's just lame. And I have to give it a D plus. If I had to grade the drop for these consoles, I would give Sony a D plus, man. Microsoft has been able to at least get more of their platforms and things out there to their consumers, but as far as Sony, I would have to give them a D plus grade on this, man, because you should have gotten more consoles out there. And now we're in a situation where people have to pay upwards to $1,000 for a system. It's just not fair. But hopefully next year, maybe in 2023, when most people have it in their homes, I'm pretty sure. But this is, hey man, even myself, I've been waiting on the PS5, just for my YouTube content. I think it'll be great seeing current gen and giving you guys a better experience as well. I think it'll be cool. I can't wait. But man, we just have to be patient, and there's nothing wrong with being patient. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens in 2022. But in other news regarding E3 that's coming up next week, right? I just want to get into a couple games that I myself would like to see and am anticipating coming out this year. All right. Well, I was anticipating God of War coming out, but obviously that has a pushback on it. But games like Horizon Zero Dawn, I didn't play the first game, but from what I've seen, the sequel, the gameplay that I've seen this week recently, it really made me want to check it out. So I think I'm going to check out the sequel if I can get my hands on the game. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to. Also, another game that I want to get into, I believe it's called, yes, Ratchet and Clank, man. I can't wait for Ratchet and Clank. When they showed it off for the PS5, that looked great. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. Maybe next year, not right now. Just because I want to play those games. I want to experience those games on the next gen, not current console. Next gen consoles, I feel, would be the best to experience those games. Just because a lot of those games were kind of shown off on the PS5 engine. Even though it wasn't necessarily made for PS5 alone. Just because, PS4 obviously. But I do want to experience those games on the PS5 just because I want to see what that console can do and how it can push games to new limits, And also, there's this game with I think it's called Deathloop. Awesome game. If you guys haven't seen the trailer for it, go check out Deathloop. I believe it is called Deathloop. who basically it's a game where you play this assassin, but he goes through like this time loop, and he's trying to figure out who betrayed him, I guess, whatever. But I don't know exactly all the information on the game, and I don't want to fucking run the game for you. But yes, if you get a chance, please go out and check out Deathloop. That's one of the most anticipated games for myself that I'm expecting. I can't wait for that. And also, right, guys, a very, very big game I want to get into, Final Fantasy, man. I'm not gonna lie, growing up, I wasn't too much of a big Final Fantasy fan. I mean, I was a fan, but I wasn't like big on playing a lot of the games. But man, the remake for the PS5 looks pretty lit, bro. Looks pretty fire. I cannot lie, man. I cannot lie. When I see something good, bro, I just have to give it praise. I have to give it his flowers, bro. Final Fantasy has been doing this thing for years, man. I think, it was a very, very, not really underrated, but in a sense, it's very underrated when it comes to like, when we say big games, big series, games like Mario series and shit like that. Like, man, Final Fantasy has been in there for years, man. It's been doing this thing, man, and they've been making great games, and I'm excited to see where Square Enix goes for the next gen consoles, man. It's very exciting this year to see them push the limits. You know what I mean? Also, another game that I've been really into growing up, man, in my teenage years, playing Battlefield series, and I'm so excited because this is about time that we get a game, see what the Frostbite engine can do. EA Games, Battlefield 6 coming out hopefully this year or maybe early next year, who knows, but they're teasing some trailers for next week for E3, so I'm excited about that to see what they bring on the table. Now, the last couple of Battlefield games have been a little bit, may I say, mediocre, just to me, in my opinion. Battlefield 4 was okay, right? But for me, when I started off playing Battlefield 3, it was just a totally different experience because I was kind of a RPG player, Call of Duty player, and then coming to Battlefield 3, it just gave me a totally different experience, man. I just fell in love from day one from Battlefield 3, and for me, even though I've played COD before Battlefield, I don't know, man. For me, Battlefield takes the cake. It's just something about Battlefield that I really love, and of course, that's why I think I love playing Ground War here on Call of Duty so much, because it does give me that Battlefield vibes, man. And I'm so excited for Battlefield 6 because I do believe it's actually being made from scratch for the PS5, man. And oh man, just the things you could do in Battlefield as far as just the environment and how you can just mess it up and you can interact with the environment. I enjoy that so much, man. And just the gunplay, the gunfire, the sounds, everything, the characters to the voiceovers. It's a masterpiece, and I think that EA Games is going to really push the limits, man. They're going to really show us what the PS5 can do and what they can do with video games and how far we've come. Because if you think about it, guys, we're no longer in the past, man. We're in the present future right now. It is the future that we're in, and we really want to see what these new systems can do, bro. We really want to see what they can do just graphically, story-wise as well. And to think about Battlefield, right? They're not so much into the story mode. They're more based around multiplayer. But, it would be good to see them, bring in a storyline, and just see where it goes. That would be exciting. But if not, I'm perfectly fine with them just sticking to multiplayer. And also, what would be interesting to see if they take the battle royale route as well. Obviously, have that main multiplayer focus as well. Just cater to your original fans. But also bring in that battle royale in a sense, just like with the Battlefield 5 when they brought in Firestorm, which didn't really get a lot of praise. Like Fortnite and your war zones. Not too many people were big on Firestorm, but I really think that If Battlefield 6 here, if they can really bring something different, especially a modern game, I'm not really looking forward to them going back into like the World War days. You know, I'm kind of tired out with all that. Hopefully they can bring back a modern shooter like they did with Battlefield 3. You know what I mean? I'm more excited for that, to see where they can take it. You know what I mean? As far as graphically and things like that. That'll be interesting to see, because the past few Battlefield games haven't been as good. Just because I think it's been not so much of a modern shooter, but taken back in the past with the World War shooters. And I think we get enough of that with the COD series. You know, I think that Call of Duty has done enough with World War II. But I think Battlefield, where they really shine is when they take it to the modern shooters. You know what I mean? That's, I think, their bread and butter. That's the cherry on top for me. You know, I think that's where they shine. And I think that once Battlefield 6 comes out, it'll be a game that'll actually compete with games like Fortnite and Call of Duty. You know what I mean? I really do think that Battlefield has a chance here to take that top spot that Call of Duty has had for so many years. You know, it'll be interesting to see, guys. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are looking forward to for next week's event, E3. Right? Let me guys know what games you're looking forward to. What game do you guys want to play 2020, 21 and next year? Are you excited for God of War series? Are you excited for Battlefield? What other games are you looking forward to? But these are just some of the games, you know, that I personally look forward to. But hey, thanks for watching, man. If you enjoyed the video, you already know, man. Please like, share, subscribe, do that thing. And of course, peace and love, man. Stay saucy. Your boy Sauce out. Yes, sir.